Hi, from beautiful and historic Lunenburg Academy, built in 1895. We are on the third floor, the property of LAMP, which is Lunenburg Academy of Musical Performances. Welcome to our show and story, scene, and song about the pride of Nova Scotia, the Bluenose, as we celebrate its launch 100 years ago. We hope you learn some interesting facts about the Bluenose and its replica, Bluenose 2. There are some exaggerations in our skits for comedic purposes. Hopefully, they will give you a little chuckle. We invite you to sing along to the chorus of our songs. History should be fun, so enjoy.
Harken back to harder times, to when this tale begins. See their lives and see their trials that on them did descend. On sailing ships for days on days, toiling without end. Living in the days of wooden ships and iron men.
Harvest from the virgin forts, lost to shipyard sing. To the keel built sturdy ribs, clothes are in and then. Fitter with strong mast and sails to see you to the end. A legacy of days of wooden ships and iron men.
Oh, what a tale they spin. Stories told of places where they have been. Catches caught.
Strong and captains tall and crews you could depend. Memories of days of wooden ships and iron men.
Oh, what a tale they spin. Stories told from places where they have been. Catches caught. Lives and see the trials that on them did descend. On sailing ships for days and days, toiling without end. Living in the days of wood ships and iron men. Legacies of days of wood ships and iron men. Memories of days of wood ships and iron men.
Lunenburg and the surrounding area is rich in history. The Mi'kmaq lived, worked, and played in this region of Micmaci before the arrival of Europeans. They called the Lunenburg area Merlegesh. Lunenburg Township encompassed all lands between the LaHave and Mushamash rivers. The foreign Protestants who settled Lunenburg County came from various German-speaking states and from Montbéliard, now part of France. They could boast of having traversed the Atlantic and survived, and there was not one fisherman or boat builder among the 1,500 immigrants who arrived here from the interior of Europe. However, these foreign Protestants did have agricultural expertise and skilled trades for the times. They soon recognized that there was a good living to be made in the fishery, as they observed other communities turn to the sea for a livelihood. Soon, skills brought from the old world were retooled towards shipbuilding, trade, and the fisheries resource. Over time, investments and innovations created employment and a heritage that made Lunenburg the fishing capital of Canada. This transition began with the generation of the foreign Protestants' arrival and led to generations of wooden ships and Iron Men. Saltbank schooners with their two-man dories had a long legacy as workhorses of the Atlantic. That legacy became national and international with the construction of the Bluenose.
The design for the original Bluenose was the work of William J. Ruy of Halifax, a well-known naval architect who was responsible for the ship's model, and Captain Angus Walters of Lunenburg, who would become captain of this sleek new fishing and racing vessel. Captain Walters had been a captain since the age of 23. He was extremely competitive, an astute businessman, and a successful fishing captain. History would prove him equal to the task of creating a legend. Now, let's listen in on William Ruy, Captain Walters, and their wives as they sing about their journey to bring the Bluenose from an idea to a legend.
The Bluenose and its replica, Bluenose 2, are the iconic symbols of the days of sail. The Bluenose was known as the Queen of the Atlantic. Bluenose 2 is Nova Scotia's sailing ambassador, shining a light on maritime heritage. People who live in Nova Scotia are called Bluenosers. That name existed long before the vessels. There are a number of theories as where the name Bluenose came from. Let's listen in.
When the people wipe their noses on their sleeves, the blue dye transferred from the material onto their noses. Hence, Bluenose.
No, I'm pretty sure it's because folks in the area grew, ate, and sold blue potatoes. Yeah, the Yanks bought the potatoes and they called the exporters Bluenosers.
No, not even close. The name came about because it was so cold back in the old days, people's snouts turned blue.
Oh, don't be so silly. I heard that the name came about because people on the South Shore drank a lot of fortified beverages, like this here Van Dyke's blueberry juice.
They drank 45 beverages.
No, 45 beverages, not 45 like my age.
Oh, you wish you were 45.
Well,
Give me a
I've
break.
never heard that last theory before, and I don't think blueberry juice is what they meant when fisher folk had their fortified drinks dark and dirty. Just saying. However, the first recorded use of the word Bluenose was by a Reverend Bailey in 1785.
The Bluenose was built as a racing and fishing schooner in order to get back Canada's honor after the American schooner Esperanto defeated the Nova Scotian schooner Delawana at the International Schooner Races in 1920. The construction of the Bluenose was an important event, and the Governor General, the 9th Duke of Devonshire, was tasked with driving the golden spike into the keel of the Bluenose to mark the commencement of the vessel's construction on December 18, 1920. This is how we imagine the event based on some historical facts.
Good afternoon, Governor General, and welcome to Lunenburg.
Thank you, Duff. And you can call me Duke of Devonshire.
Looks more like the Duke of Earl. Oh, that could be a good song someday. Would you like a libation, Your Excellency?
Oh, yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, did you know that I was a lonus before I married Duff, Your Highness?
The king is Your Highness, Your Lonus. Just call me Duke of Gov. And a glass of champagne would be wonderful and most suitable for a person of my standing.
Well, he looks like he's sitting, not standing.
See to it that you get something good. Very good.
Marie, get the cold duck. Yes, ma'am. Here you go, sir.
And maybe a gin and tonic as a chaser?
Lord, you must be from Upper Canada.
There are no lords in Canada. Call me Duke.
Oh, so sorry, Your Dukeship.
Ladies, please. The Duke here is a big shot from Ottawa, for God's sake.
Oh, do you spell shot with an I?
Oh,
This is hopeless.
here we go, Governor. Try a drop of this here rum. Would you like a single or a double?
Oh, think big.
Oh, there we go. Is that good then, Governor, or should I say DD?
DD? Oh, you mean Duke of Devonshire?
No, he means designated driver. You're going to need one later.
Yeah, you need another drink there, Governor. Yeah, come on, girl, just one more drink. It's a bit of night and it make you think you've got one long day ahead of you. Yeah, come on, girl, just one more shot of something that we drink a lot, guaranteed to help to see you through. Dark and dirty is what they say, comes from down west in this way. Fisher folk are known to have a few and a few. So put away that fine French wine, gin and tonic, champagne fine, but put it back the way Bluenoses do.
It helps your walking, loosens your talking. You'll drive that swine go, one hit or two.
So come on, girl, just one more drink to clear your mind and help you think. Give it back the way Bluenoses do. Oh.
Your walking, loosens your talking. You'll drive that swine go, one hit or two. So come on, girl, just one more drink to try to have a thing. Put it back the way Bluenoses do.
Oh yeah.
Put it back the way Bluenoses do.
One more time.
Put it back the way Bluenoses do. Woo!
Unfortunately, the old Duke of Devonshire there, he had a very wet afternoon indeed. And he was rather inebriated by the time he reached the site to drive in that golden spike. 3 times he tried, and 3 times he failed miserably. In the end, it was left up to one of the shipbuilders to drive in the golden spike. Oh, by the way, the golden spike weren't golden at all. It were an ordinary spike, painted yellow for the occasion like. I loves history, I does.
It took 96 days for the Bluenose to be constructed. This feat was accomplished by 30 shipwrights working outside during the winter months at a time when the climate was certainly harsher than in 2021. Completing the vessel from tree to sea in 96 days in those conditions is a tribute to the skill and determination of the shipwrights. On March 26, 1921, the Bluenose was christened by Audrey Smith, the daughter of shipbuilder Richard Smith. After the christening, the Bluenose was launched from the Smith and Ruland shipyard as hundreds of locals and visitors watched. The Bluenose was certainly not blue. It was long, sleek, and black in color. Fortunately for Nova Scotians and all Canadians, this event was recorded on film, and it was a magnificent sight to behold. Although the Bluenose became known as the Queen of the Atlantic, Captain Walters always referred to the Bluenose as the Black Witch. It was launched at a time when there were numerous superstitions about sailing vessels. Certainly, captains would not want black cats or women on board. The spirit of the sea could foresee the legacy of the Bluenose.
When the black witch of the windward
original Bluenose earned her keep as a fishing vessel. The sight of schooners in the harbour with the sea of spars pointing upwards to the heavens created a very romantic view of what life as a fisherman was. But fishing in dories as part of the schooner crew was difficult and dangerous work. Nevertheless, many South Shore men lobbied to become part of the schooner crew, with many youngsters signing on as flunky in order to get their foot in the door and maybe later on their butts in a dory to become part of the fishing crew. Let's listen in to one flunky as he tries to persuade Captain Angus Walters to give him a place on the Bluenose.
Captain Walters, sir, could I please make a trip? I'm strong and dependable.
That's what they all say. How old are you, son?
I'll be 14 next year.
This year?
13 years and 1 month, sir.
Nah, you're kind of young.
You were 13 when you went to sea.
Your father's a fisherman. Doesn't your mother need you at home?
Our family has 12 kids. I've got brothers aged 10 and 11 and a sister aged 14. They can handle the chores.
You need schooling, son.
I've got grade 6. I'm more educated than most.
Well, why the Bluenose, son?
They say she's the fastest vessel in the Atlantic fleet. I love watching the ships coming into and leaving port. The men look so happy, and they make good wages, too.
The men are certainly happy when they're coming home. Not so sure about the wives.
I'm going to be a master like you someday.
Ambitious little flunky, aren't you?
Flunky?
Yeah, flunky. We'll give you a trip. No shares. You can get credit for what you catch from the deck, if you got the time. Now, I'm the master of this vessel, but every man on the Bluenose is your boss. They'll say, flunky do this and flunky do that, and you'll do it.
Wow, what an adventure. What a great life.
We sail on Tuesday. It's not always what it's cracked up to be, you know. But if you're not a man now, you certainly will be by the time you get back. Listen to the crew tell you all about it.
This romantic life of a fisherman, told in songs and flowing poetry. Schooners at their rest, dories at their quest. What a great adventure this must be. Have you seen the toil and the commotion? Have you sensed the foil and misery? Have you felt the cold winds on the ocean? Have you lived in soil and drudgery? This romantic life of a fisherman, told in songs and flowing poetry. Schooners at their rest, dories at their quest. What a great adventure this must be. Weeks on end we're gone from the home port, longing for our friends and families, hoping that our lives will not be cut short by the sudden fury of the sea. This romantic life of a fisherman, told in songs and flowing poetry. Schooners at their rest, dories at their quest. What a great adventure this must be.
Living on that prison called a schooner. Home is now a 497 bond. On that floating wood they'd all be sooner, with the wives and children that they love.
This romantic life of a fisherman, told in songs and flowing poetry. Schooners at their rest, dories at their quest. What a great adventure
adventure this must be. What a great adventure this must be.
Yes, the Bluenose story is one of superb design, skilled shipbuilders, a formidable master mariner, and a hardy crew. This story would not take place without the strong women who skippered the home, the property, and the livestock while the men were away. These strong women knew that their loved ones had a mistress and they had to share their husbands with the Atlantic. That was simply the way it was. That was life when you married a fisherman.
Since my childhood I have known him, all that time I have adored him, my heart always longing for him, he would be my own. We did court and we did marry, we had love and we had sharing. We had joy and we had caring, but he'd not be my own. Men like he, drawn to the sea, are captured by her role. For her love, many a man would simply sell his soul. When my heart would call him from her, once again he was my lover, and from me there'd be no other, he would be my own. Men like he, drawn to the sea, are captured by her role. For her love, many a man would simply sell his soul. Once again, the waves will bind him, absent with my love to guide him. Water stirred from deep inside him, and I shall be alone. Yes, water stirred from deep inside him, and now I am alone.
The Bluenose earned its reputation and its place in history as a vessel that never lost in its quest for the International Fisherman's Cup. Racing success gained national fame for the schooner and the town, as well as the crew and captain. However, the Bluenose, like other vessels of the period, was a successful fishing schooner. It carried the same two-man dories as did other schooners of its day, and it faced the same hazards. In fact, the Bluenose had a near miss off of Sable Island. Where other vessels met their demise, the Bluenose returned home, battered but not beaten, by an early spring storm. Crew members witnessed Captain Walters lash himself to the wheel of the Bluenose in order to save his vessel and crew from nature's wrath. During that fierce storm, sand from the Sable Island shoal was found on the deck of the Bluenose, and some of the sand was collected by the crew in a jar. In the 1920s, there was no auxiliary power, only sails and the skill of the captain and the crew to do battle with the storms. Nor were there any marine forecasts or ship-to-shore radios. This made fishing a very dangerous business. During the August gales of 1926 and 1927, 6 Lunenburg vessels went down with all hands. Sadly, 130 men were lost at sea.
It is with good reason that the region around the Sable Island is called the Graveyard of the Atlantic. Captain Angus got his crew and his vessel through many close calls on the Atlantic. This song paints a picture of a schooner battling one such storm.
A life begotten on the water. Yes, from this ocean we were born. From here the depths of this our mother, to build the land where we have grown. This gentle friend on which we travel, here on her waves we humans roam, until its fury doth unravel. Devilish fiend begat the storm, where the spars are snapped among thunderclaps, and our strength is sapped. Battles in the foam, while the restless tide pitch us overside. Will each strong man's pride be shattered by the fury of the storm? Down on our knees upon the gunwale, pray the Creator give us rest. Cling to all hope that we can funnel. Why do you put us to the test? Water covers decks, many vessels wrecked, an unfinished track, crushed among the roar, where the sails are shred and the rails are red. Many are the dead, left battered by the fury of the storm, where the spars are snapped among thunderclaps, and our strength is sapped. Battles in the foam, where the restless tide pitch us overside. Will each strong man's pride be shattered by the fury, shattered by the fury, shattered by the fury of the storm?
Captain Angus Walters was born in Lunenburg in 1881. He went to sea at an early age, and he owned his own ship by the time he was 27. A skilled master and a successful man of business, he had captained 4 vessels before becoming captain of the Bluenose. As Bluenose captain and part owner, he won the International Fisherman's Cup for Canada from 1921 to 1938. Angus Walters was inducted into the Nova Scotia Sports Hall of Fame and the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame, as was the Bluenose. He retired from seafaring in 1938 and bought a dairy business. He also served as a Lunenburg town councillor and ran for provincial politics, but was unsuccessful in that race. Angus Walters died in 1968 at the age of 87, having lost the 3 loves of his life, Maggie, Millie, and the Bluenose. Like most of us, he enjoyed the great experiences of his life, but it was not one without sadness and questions about life's choices.
At 13 years I went to sea, like my ancestors before. Was captain of a ship at 23. Took Maggie Tanner as my wife. She blessed me with 3 sons. but I would rarely see my family. In 37, Maggie died. I found myself alone. Next year, young Mildred Butler was my bride. All three sons skipped the wedding. They thought I'd lost my way. I know that they were right some of the time. What's the price of glory for the winning at the game? For wanting praise and accolades, there's room to share some blame. For I am but a simple man, not the hero they proclaim. What's the price of glory? What's the price of fame? As I tried to save my Bluenose, the whole town saw me obsessed. She'd always earned her keep, the record shows. But I lost my ship, the Mildred too, when she passed age 45. I spent the last years of my life alone. What's the price of glory for the winning at the game? For want of praise and accolades, there's room to share some blame. For I am but a simple man, not the hero they proclaim. What's the price of glory? What's the price of fame? What's the price of glory for the winning at the game? For wanting praise and accolades, there's room to share some blame. For I am but a simple man, not the hero they proclaim. What's the price of glory? What's the price of fame? What's the price of glory? What's the price of fame?
With the advent of modern technology, stronger demand for fresh rather than salted fish, the difficulty in fishing during the war, and the cost of operating an older schooner, the Bluenose saw its demise as a fishing schooner. During World War II, the vessel remained at the dock. Captain Walters wanted to preserve the vessel for its legacy as part of our living heritage. No citizen or any three levels of government would come on board with funding. He'd invested his own money, but despite his best efforts to find financing to keep the Bluenose in Lunenburg, it was sold to the West Indies Trading Company in 1942. 4 years later, it was wrecked off Haiti with no loss of life. Fortunately, the story does not end there. Bluenose 2 was constructed in 1963 by the Olin family as a marketing tool for schooner beer. It was an exact replica of the original Bluenose, built once again at the Smith and Rowland shipyard, using William J. Roue's design. Captain Walters was involved as a consultant for the project. In 1971, Bluenose 2 was sold to the province for $1. It was symbolic that it was paid for with 10 dimes, of which the Bluenose was the symbol. It has served as a goodwill ambassador, a tourist attraction, and a promoter of tourism for Nova Scotia and Canada. Sailing vessels required much upkeep and refits, which are costly and require specialized skill shipwrights. Bluenose 2 is no exception. There have been 4 major refits of the vessel since it was sold to the province in '63. Rot and hogging, that is the distortion of the shape of the hull, are common problems on wooden sailing vessels. Much of the ship has been replaced at various points since '63. In 2010, the province issued a contract for a major refit and restoration. She was shaped by the genius of Will Rui's mind. She was built for a future on the sea. And the fastest of schooners with the low-lying lines would earn her a place in history. For the shipwrights of Lunenburg knew what to do when they carved out her body from the trees. And with Angus as captain and a county-wide cruise, our Bluenose would sail to victory. Catch the wind, till the journey is over and the catch comes trim, till she takes the men safely to her home port again. Drive them home, catch the wind.
Off of Haiti we lost her on a dangerous reef, and we mourned as she lay on ocean floor. But the crew and the master, consumed by their grief, sang with joy when her namesake sailed once more.
Catch the wind, with the sound of the pistol as the racing begins, as she's rounding the buoy with her sails fully trimmed. Cross that line, catch the wind.
Now Bluenose's second been hauled up the slip. She's been scuttled, she's been gutted, she's been maimed. And the woods that sustained her have been battered or chipped, or been carried off to a fiery grave.
Now this long restoration has seen her rebuilt. Once again she's whole and she's sound. She will take to the water with her promise fulfilled.
For the Bluenose will never let us down. Catch the wind, till the journey is over and the catch coming trim, till she takes the men safely to their home port again. Guide them home, catch the wind, with the sound of the pistol as the racing begins, as she's rounding the buoy with her sails fully trimmed. Cross that line, catch the wind, sail again, catch the wind.
All reusable parts of the Bluenose 2 were saved, including rigging, masts, sails, ironwork, deck structures, safety equipment, and electronics. With new materials, such as the very strong Angelique wood and other modern innovations, this restoration, completed in 2016, ensured the longevity of our vessel. The racing success of the Bluenose has been accredited to many factors, including the Rui design, the rake of the spars, the elevated design of the bow of the vessel, and the skills of Angus Walters at the helm of the Bluenose.
Maritimes means by the sea, and Maritimers love the sea. Nova Scotians or Bluenoses who leave the province for work return each summer to Canada's ocean playground. Many can't wait to pack it in and retire in order to once again be home by the ocean, for the sea is in our blood. We now take you to Toronto, 1976. The office of St. Clair Roadenizer Swicker Wynot, car salesman, formerly from Lunenburg County.
I'm here about a job.
I don't got no job for you.
But I want to work for your business. See, I found this card for your business. It says, Steclair, Rodenzier, Z Wicker, and why not?
That's Sinclair, Roadenizer Swicker, why not? That's me, that's not the dealership. I sells cars, like them gorgeous over there. K-cars, really good cars. My father, he always bought good cars from Lunenburg Foundry, Dodges, for years and years. Told me I should sell cars, so I moved to Toronto.
Your father?
My father, he was an old sea salt, passed in '64, spent years and years and years on the Bluenose. didn't want me going to sea, said my hands was too soft. So I rushed around a little bit in Lunenburg County, then I moved here.
You've got quite an accent. I can hardly even make out what you're saying. Where are you from?
I'm from Lunenburg, home of the Bluenose, and the Mrs. Sadie, she was Sadie Kaiser Knickel Canal. She's from out in Senna.
Senna?
Senna in Nova Scotia, yeah, Senna.
Oh, center. You mean the center of Nova Scotia. You mean Truro.
My God, you don't know your geography good. There's Senna outside Lunenburg, and back Senna and front Senna, and Blue Rocks and Black Rocks, and this first and second peninsula, and first south and northwest. Those places are all outside Lunenburg.
If you say so. You know, I really like these pictures of sailing vessels that you have.
Kind of reminds me of our home, don't it? I goes home every summer. I take Sadie with. We got a sailboat in the back harbour. We got a moored off the Sawpit Wharf.
What's the name of your vessel?
We call her the Back Harbour Hopper.
Oh, the Back Harbour Hopper. Do you like sails?
The Lord Bird. I've been selling cars for years. Now, I'm getting tired of selling, but I like staying. Next week, I'm leaving Hogtown. I'm quitting the Big Smoke. I'm going back east.
Oh, well, maybe I could get your job.
Go see the boss. Oh. Mr. Chrisley's 4 doors down.
Okay, 4 doors. Hey, that's like the K cars.
Hey, before you go, over here. I got something you gotta listen to. It's a song called Sailing Away. My wife Sadie sings it. I play the guitar. My cousin played the guitar with me. And my neighbor, Mary Mosman, she sings harmony on the song. Okay. So you gotta give her a listen, okay?
I will.
Drifting away to a place in the sun for some peace of mind. Having my way to do what I want and to live a while. I feel as free as a gull as she soars by me, coasting on her winged flight. Doing it naturally and loving life. Once I was city-fied, living up in the skies, not my style. It's not a part of me, give me the waters to paradise. Out on the sea, I can really be me, the salt air refreshes my soul, purifying me to my goal. I'm sailing away. I'm sailing away to the open sea that lies beyond the bay. I'm sailing. I found my place on this ocean of life, and the sailing gets smoother each day. Living and learning from day to day. I'm sailing away. I'm sailing away to the open sea that lies beyond the
Folks, the name Bluenose, wherever it may have come from, has certainly stuck. And it will live on forever with the original Bluenose and her incredible history, and also in our sailing ambassador, Bluenose 2. But the name Bluenose will also live on in many names of a multitude of businesses on Lunenburg County and Halifax and beyond.
You've earned your place in history. You've earned your legacy. Was it your goal to be in so many spaces? Came from a humble place to sail and win the race. Your name won't be erased if we live throughout the ages.
Bluenose painting, Bluenose print, Bluenose restaurant, Bluenose rum, Bluenose insurance, Bluenose lodge, Bluenose company store, and there's much more.
Bluenose golf course, Bluenose Academy, Bluenose mini mart, Bluenose laundromat, Bluenose video, Bluenose fundraising, Bluenose property management, and there's more yet.
Bluenose frozen seafood, Bluenose fire and safety, Bluenose concrete design, Bluenose bottle exchange, Bluenose well drilling, Bluenose RV center, Bluenose accounting, Bluenose leadership, and more I've missed.
You've earned your place in history. You've earned your legacy. Was it your goal to be in so many spaces? Came from a humble place to sail and win the race. Your name won't be erased if we live throughout the ages. Bluenose, 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 Bluenose this and Bluenose that.
The town of Lunenburg and the Bluenose are inextricably linked. It has been that way since construction began on the Bluenose in December of 1920. The vessel was built in the town. Its only captain was from Lunenburg, as were many members of the crew. The Bluenose has given back to the town as it has helped place Lunenburg on the map, nationally and internationally. It is a great symbiotic relationship. The Bluenose is an intricate part of the history and heritage of Lunenburg town, its home port.
Tell me, have you heard that down in Lunenburg, women serve their biscuits with iced tea? And tell me, have you seen this architectural dream built on a hillside? Been there since old times, living heritage for all to see. Turning from the land to be a fisherman, building ships with skills from carpentry, using the resources, plotting out new courses, on to fame and fortune it would lead. Tell me, have you heard that down in Lunenburg, sauerkraut's a very special meal? And tell me, have you seen the fishing boats that gleam, tied to the dockside, from a rough ride, building this town's fortune by the sea? hutch, oven, cookbooks, widows' walks, and rugs hooked. Even got the Bluenose on a dime. The puddings and the runs, history's been such fun in this town where people show their pride. Tell me, have you heard that down in Lunenburg, women serve their biscuits with iced tea? And tell me, have you seen this architectural dream built on a hillside, been there since old times, living heritage for all to see? Tell me, have you heard that down in Lunenburg, sauerkraut's a very special meal? And tell me, have you seen the fishing boats that gleam, tied to the dockside, from a rough ride, building this town's fortune by the sea? Building this town's fortune by the sea. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-dee.
Fishing has changed much since 1921, and there is certainly a huge difference between being a crew member on the original Bluenose in 1921 and a crew member on Bluenose 2 100 years later.
The year is 1921. We had some great fishing trips this year. Had to get trips in the fall so we could race. The cod are plentiful, and my dory mate is a young, hard worker, keen to learn the ropes. The work is difficult and dangerous, but we dress for the seasons at sea, and the master is very skillful at the fisheries. He knows his vessel and his sails incredibly well. He's a top-class navigator. The Bluenose is usually one of the first vessels back from the grounds. We raced and won back the International Fisherman's Cup for Canada. And yes, we expected this. We have no ship-to-shore radios, no engines, just Mother Nature. But that is all we need. Captain Walters continually pushes the Black Witch to her limits. He will not permit any women on board when she is in port. They are permitted to see the crew set sail. That's it.
I've been on the Bluenose 2 for a few years. The cod are scarce now, but the Bluenose 2 doesn't fish. Our officers are experienced and our crew is young and evenly split between male and females. The first female served on board the Bluenose in 1987. The Bluenose 2 is not allowed to race, but we've been successful in preserving its heritage as an ambassador for Nova Scotia. The crew serve a dual role. We serve the ship as deckhands, and we interact with tourists to promote our province. We have powerful engines as backup, up-to-date navigation capabilities, and continuous communication with the rest of the world. We wear distinctive uniforms depending on our role on the schooner. Captain Watson has been with the Bluenose 2 for 30 years, making his way up the ranks from deckhand to skipper, a role he's had for the past 20 years. I'm his first mate. What would Captain Walters think of that? Come and see us sometime.
The ad for schooner beer in the 60s went as follows. I've got a story to tell of a proud ship who served her country well. The Bluenose certainly did have that, and Bluenose 2 continues that tradition. The captain and crew of Bluenose 2 enjoy having people from all over the world have sail or a cruise from the port of Lunenburg and onboard access in a port of call. This was a tough year for Bluenoses, with many deaths in senior complexes due to COVID. A murderous rampage that saw 22 deaths in our province and fatal accidents involving our military. During the summer of the pandemic, the Bluenose undertook a voyage of encouragement, and anchored off many bays, ports, and harbors of Nova Scotia in celebration of Nova Scotia Strong. The Bluenose is the ambassador for our Mi'kmaq, English, Acadian, Scottish, Irish, African, Nova Scotian peoples, and all cultures, new and old, that inhabit Canada's ocean playground.
I long to hear the ocean waves that greet the shore, where seabirds soar. I can hear that roar. The cool Atlantic breeze is knocking at my door. Out in Canada's ocean playground. To know the passing season isn't here to stay. Feel the breeze each day in the smallest of ways. There's a piece of heaven on some sheltered day. Out in Canada's ocean playground. From Lansing down in Yarmouth to the valleys for a fair, to the highlands of Cape Breton and the fawn around there, to the southern, eastern, northern shores and high on Oregon coast, there's a place to love the most. Good times in Acadie and Keely's in the glen, you may roam the den, you'll be back again. Our compass pointing eastward where the journey ends. Out in Canada's ocean playground. From Lansing down in Yarmouth to the valleys for a fair, to the highlands of Cape Breton and the fawn road there, to the southern, eastern, northern shores and on our coast, there's a place to love the most. I long to hear the ocean waves that greet the shore, where seabirds soar. I can hear that roar. The cool Atlantic breeze is knocking at my door. Out in Canada's ocean playground. The cool Atlantic breeze is knocking at my door. Out in Canada's ocean playground. Here in Canada's ocean playground. Out in Canada's ocean playground. Well, folks, thank you for watching our tribute to 100 years of Bluenose. May your voyage on the Sea of Life be safe and fruitful. We are going to take you home with a final tribute to Captain Walters and the Bluenose, written and sung by Vince Morash.
Well, if you would take the time, look upon your dime, you will see the reason for our pride. She sailed for many years, she brought the crowds to cheer. Once again she took that race in stride. Oh, Captain Angus knew how to move that ship and crew, and how to make the least of water line. Captain Angus could make the most of wind and wood, and bring that Bluenose home in record time. Well, they tried like hell to beat her, but a wind would always greet her, no matter what the competition hailed. She fished the salt-cod banks, she lived to beat the Yanks, no faster fishing schooner ever sailed. Oh, Captain Angus knew how to move that ship and crew, and how to make the least of water line. Only Captain Angus could make the most of wind and wood, and bring that Bluenose home in record time. But the schooner and the dory are soon a passing story. Time awaits for no man, so they say. With just a sail and mast, now the draggers run right past. Fishermen now work a different way. So when her fishing days were done, she sailed south to the sun, a lowly freighter in the Indies trade. It was was not a fit end for such a faithful friend. In 46 the shoal became her grave. But from the port of Lunenburg there sails a replica, and a Bluenose too was known on every shore. From Smith and Rowland's yard, where they all looked darn hard, that Bluenose name might live forevermore.
Oh, Captain Angus knew how to move the ship and crew, and how to make the least of water line.
Only Captain Angus could
Make the most of wind and wood, and bring that Bluenose home in record time.
Oh, Captain Angus